Everybody. Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is a Black Manga Critic here. We are back with that My Hero Academia greatness, y'all. All right, we're back with that My Hero Academia greatness. We are super hyped for this. I'm super hyped for this, of course, because I love me that My Hero Academia greatness. All right, I love this slice of life stuff, school life stuff. It's awesome, and I'm not gonna say, oh, if you don't like this, then you suck. Go kick rocks. No, that's ridiculous. What I will say is that personally, I love that My Hero slice of life greatness. I think that's one of the things that makes this series something that was missing in a series like Reborn, right? Which sort of lowers the kind of quality of Hitman Reborn. It's still a great series. I still love Reborn, but I feel like My Hero is raised up because of that stuff, because we get that character development, because we get all that stuff. And if you see something like Assassination Classroom, the reason why people love Assassination Classroom is because we had that stuff. We had the school life. It was all mixed in. And when things got real in Assassination Classroom, it was great because, we sort of got to see how the students would act outside of the school life. It was with Assassination Classroom, it was very much so the school life was at the forefront. And then it was the other stuff. The other stuff was super hype, but the school life was at the core of the series, right? And with My Hero Academia, I think what's great about that is that it's sort of somewhere in the middle where it's a really, really wonderful balance where you still get the school life stuff, but you see that stuff, but they're always sort of transitional, and they work as really, really wonderful transitions from the students getting to do their thing, character development in that sense, to character development within the battles and stuff like that. Right? It's never just, oh, characters can only get character development in battles. It's characters get character development just by doing things and being around and living and existing. You know what I mean? And interacting with characters. That's what I'm talking about. All right. So when I get on One Piece in that sense, generally that's sort of what I'm that's kind of stuff that I'm talking about there. That's neither here nor there, man. I'm not gonna rant about One Piece in the My Hero video. Let's get into the chapters, all right? So we're going to start with chapter 172 because I have not read that yet. And then we're going to move on to 173. I'm not going to do too many reactions today just because I do have work in a little bit. I did not do sub-teaching today. So the one day out of the month that I say, you know what, I'll take a break. So yeah, so I don't have too much time. But I don't know, maybe when I come back, maybe I will react to a few other chapters for an hour or something. All right. As part of my upbringing when I was young, I developed an interest in piano. Could that be useful? Okay. So now chapter 172 is entitled Prepping for the School Festival is the funnest part. Funnest part. Part 1. Assigning roles continues at Heights Alliance. Cool. So you should play the keyboard, Momoyao. Synth sounds are a part of club music that we can't do without. You're a real help. I'll do my best. Didn't we talk about being part of the girls' dance squad? But I forgive you because you're so cute. I'll play bass. So we just need guitar and vocals. Everyone else can be dancers? I fear that alone may not be enough. How about that crazy video we saw? We gotta have some props. Yeah, that. Props. Like this. Sparks and streamers and disco balls. We need these sort of things if you want to create an atmosphere. Let's make it like a Disneyland paradise. And it's another way for others to participate. We're borrowing the gym, right? Indeed. Aizawa Sensei has already put in the request. So Uraka can make Todoroki and Kirishima float, right? And then Kirishima can chop up Todoroki's ice. And if Aoyama acts as our disco ball, the sparkly ice will look like stardust as it falls. I call it Team Snowman. Haha, a shaving ice machine. Yo, Ashido is so into this. It's awesome. I love it. She's I'll tell you about this a little bit after the chapter, after the 2 chapters, but I'll tell you about a little about something else. Remember those hero teams I was talking about? Excellent idea. Adding a bit of flair is the perfect way to get the room going. I am the disco ball? C'est bon. We'll also need someone to work the whole production behind the scenes. Phew. No more extra lessons since we're finally caught up. I'm so glad we get to be part of the planning. Huh? Won't you be singing, Jito? No, I'm totally not. I should sing. Singers get all the chicks. Mineta's ridiculous, man. Get out of here, Mineta. I can be the disco ball and sing as well. Yo, I can't play an instrument to save my life, but I know I've got a great voice. Brotherhood between dudes. Seize it with all you've got. Wrong genre. You're just screaming. Oh, falsetto. I think you should sing, Jito. When you were teaching us up in your room, your singing was super cool. Come on, stop making things harder than they already are. Just do it. Ignoring our soulful cries. What the heck? I just want to hear Jiro sing, just a little. Okay, so there's a really nice panel of Jiro singing, and they all like are affected by it. Cool, cool. My ears died and went to heaven, thanks to your husky, sultry voice. It's unanimous. Great. With that out of the way, we need guitarists. Preferably two. Me. Playing instruments is the coolest. Let me do it. I'd probably break the strings. You really up for this? Are you ready to kill on stage? Yep, sure I am. The guitar is a shining star of any band. Look at Mineta. Mineta looks hilarious with this, like the guitar I think is like might be taller than he is. That's funny. Kind of. I can't reach the strings thanks to my design. Yo. Yo, that's joke of the year, man. That's shonen joke of the year. I love that. That was really funny. Oh man. I don't know why that was really, really well done. That was really well done. And the whole like dramatization of the panel, it's so funny, so funny. Oh man. I guess I'll dance then. Me too. I can move pretty well with my on my tail, and I'll use my tape to help with the setup. Cool. Is that Tokuyami? Let's see. Tokuyami, what a melancholy riff. You can play? Why didn't you speak up? I set the axe aside after the F chord defeated me. The F chord is the first tough one that tends to trip up beginners. Okay. Mineta, if your journey ends here, I'll strum enough for the two of us. Your choice, bucko. So stupid. Can't wait for this dumb festival to end. Hope your nails all snap off. Whoa, Mineta. Whoa. Okay. All right, Mineta. You a little salty. A little bit. I think a little salty is an understatement, but all right. Oh, Mineta, I can cook up a part of the dance where you get a harem. I'm sold. I can't wait for this festival to start. Moved. I don't know how I feel about that. It's a little weird. Let's move on. Though the guitar joke was super funny. I love that. That was great. And so on until 1 a.m. Everyone's been assigned a role. The band, nice. Okay. The band, staging team, cool. Dance squad, all right. There's a lot of work to do starting tomorrow. Break room. So class A is putting together a dance hall with live music. Should be fun. Yeah. We'll be super busy, but that can be fun in its own way. Yet, you had something to discuss? Feels like it's been quite a while since we sat down to talk, just the two of us. During my work study, I managed to draw out 20% by forcing myself and really overdoing it. I could only keep it up for a bit since it was so taxing, but even that wasn't enough to win. He was still reading my moves. More than that, if Eddie hadn't been there, I would have worn myself down almost immediately and gotten myself killed. I didn't have any way to fight back against long-range attacks, either. I thought about it hard, but I'm not sure how I should be fighting in the meantime, since I can't control my quirk fully. I don't have an answer. A dead end, huh? I've got just one thing to say. Try doing some long-range attacks yourself. What? If only I could. If only time would go faster, so I could get strong enough to really have an effect like you all might. I've also been thinking about how to help you out. How about a change of scenery? School grounds, forested area. 20% right now? Yes. Let me see that full cowling. But like I mentioned before, moving around at 20% is a heavy strain on my body. I can't keep it up for long. That's why I'm working on building up these muscles now. Whatever. Show me your full cowling. Hmm. Wow. Now, while standing right there, attack. Man, I love like the sound effects of like his like bones and like his muscles just like straining. So he attacks. Oh, whoa. That's so cool. Boom. I had it in mind to teach you this once your upper limit passed 15%. In the last battle, it seems like you didn't realize it because you've been fighting so defensively. But you can fire off a blast of wind without hurting yourself. But my body still. Think back on your journey so far. Number one, 100% with just one body part. Two, controlling the output in one body part. Three, controlling the output throughout the whole body continuously. Four, shoot style. Five, raising the upper limit from 5 to 8%. Six, and now going all out to draw on 20% for a limited time. Which brings us to the heart of the matter. In truth, you weren't using 100% all the time, right? If All Might was always at 100%, every little action would have produced those wind blasts. That's it. I've got it. I can't move around at 20% for long, but just for an instant, at the exact point I'm striking, I need to combine steps 2 and 6. 2, controlling the output in one body part. 6, going all out to draw on 20% for a limited time. Easier said than done. You'll be bursting past your limit for a brief moment. That'll demand delicate control, more than you're used to. So I should focus on the parts of my body I can move precisely, right? That's what I should train. Plus Ultra, on to the next stage. We're here. Don't worry, everyone here is great. Welcome to UA High. And there's Eddie. I gotta move on to the next chapter, y'all, because this chapter was so good. I'm gonna talk about it after the next chapter, but this is exactly what I've been talking about, right? When I've been critiquing the One Piece chapters as of late, right? I'm not talking about the rest of the series or anything like that or nothing like that, right? I'm not saying One Piece is trash. Just don't read One Piece. I've been talking about the latest few chapters. It's just been like, look at this chapter. This was, if I had to pick a like this is one of those chapters that like when Laz was doing his weekly Shonen Jump sort of draft, and you had to like pick a chapter to put in like sort of like the magazine or something like that. For like sort of like your top 10. I mean, they added like another one for fun, but like this is one of those chapters that is so well done. It's so well done, man. I'm gonna talk about it later. I'm gonna go through it a little bit because like it's just so well done. I mean, my goodness, man. My goodness. I enjoyed this chapter so much. This is what I'm talking about. This is a 10 out of 10 chapter. Okay. And it's not like, and it's so different from like the hype, right? Like usually people will have a hype. Like this is kind of like similar to like Haikyuu and the way that Haikyuu hypes up things. And it's not necessarily about like big explosion, crazy, crazy cool move. You know what I mean? Or something like that. Amazing form. You know, it's like wonderful character development. Like this is what I'm talking about, y'all. And the transitions into the different ways that this manga does character development, right? Just as I was about to go into reading this chapter, I was talking about this is what My Hero Academia does so well. And then we get a chapter that is a sort of like just a crystallization, just like just the form, like the perfect presentation of what makes My Hero Academia so great. I mean, let's move on to the next chapter, y'all. Let's move on to the next chapter. All right. My goodness. This chapter was phenomenal. Phenomenal chapter. It's like everything that I was missing in the latest sort of One Piece chapters. Horikoshi just did like a sort of a quick course into this is how you do character development. Let's move on, y'all. Let's move on. Next chapter, y'all. Yo, Daddy Black, what's going on, man? What's going on? Professor Tomi, what is up? Shuganma, what is up? You know, it's just such a great chapter. I love the chapter. Let's move on to the next chapter, though. That was so good. That's what I'm talking. That's a 10 out of 10 chapter. Everything is done so well. We get a bit of everything. We even get an explanation as to how Horikoshi is thinking about writing these characters and writing Deku's progression. And it worked organically. It wasn't even an info dump. It just worked so well. Next chapter. Chapter 173. All right, so let's go. Let's move on. All right, chapter 173. Today's Saturday, which means a day off. Even Kachan and Todoroki have this week off from license training. So, the set list decided. The set list's decided. Now it's nothing but practice time, so we can kill it on stage. A little sharper, Midoriya. It's Poppin' Lock, so don't forget the LOCK. Right, sure, cool idea. Let's hear what the dance squad has to say. Hang on, I don't think we got enough people on hand for that. Individual practice starts in the afternoon. Seems no one's noticed me yet. Now, what should I do to get the biggest laugh out of my unexpected gag? Oh, Tagada-senpai. Wait, nice full moon we're having. Oh, come, what are you doing, Toga? Like, media, where did that come from? Like, what was the purpose of that? It's such a random joke. It's so random, yo. Eddie? Hi, Deku. Huh? You're a father, senpai? No. Knock it off. Stylish clothes. So cute. It is very stylish. I mean, like, this is like this is like a way like little girls, like if they're in uniform then they may dress like that, you know, but like the Uggs that she's wearing, the little the little bag with like little pins on it and stuff like that. That's like classic classic fashion. Classic. Adorable. Eddie is awesome. Love her as a character. Great. Stylish clothes. We got permission from the principal. I see no issue, but bear in mind, Aizawa, this girl has been isolated from society all this time, right? Suddenly thrusting her into an event as extraordinary as the school festival seems a bit rash. We're doing this in advance so she won't panic at school on the day of the festival. Eddie, from the work-study incident. Hello, I'm Ida. A pleasure to meet you. Look me up in 10 years. I'm Mineta. Oh, no. Just no. No. Let's move on. She's on the shy side. Shy, is she? Anyway, I was thinking I'd show Eddie around UA today. Want to join us, Midoriya? Yo, Dance Squad, we gotta talk. Is that Eddie? Hey, oh right, you don't know me. Let's take a break, guys. It's tea time. Chapter 173 is entitled "Prepping for the School Festival is the Funnest Part," Part 2. But no, no. Saturday is usually a day off, but because of the dorm system, there should be plenty of people around working on projects. Hey, it's you, Togata. Business course third years. You've got a kid? Don't tell me, is that why you're taking time off? Well, say something. I can't tell if you're serious. Jokes aside, class one is doing great stuff this year. You ought to come check it out. This is an awesome flyer you made. Hand me those nails. Hang on. Posters don't get hung there. There's still a whole month to go, but this place is already bustling. Everyone's trying to one up the attraction from last year with their ultra usual plus ultra thinking. Rah, what? Sorry, dude. Oh, it's Midoriya from Class A. What's this? Dawdling back here. Dawdling back here. Can you really spare the time? Is that Tattoo? I think that's Tattoo. Can't be sure. You okay, Eddie? I thought it was the big lady who crashed down. She means Ryukyu. Oh, ignoring me? You must be confident. Your class is putting on a live show, I hear. Are you sure about that? Because believe me, Class B is going to outshine you this time. Romeo and Juliet: The Return of the Prisoner King of Azkaban. It's a that's like a Harry Potter reference, huh? That's interesting. Oh, so like they're combining Harry Potter and Romeo and Juliet. That's interesting. Or maybe the Prisoner King of Azkaban is like an actual like thing that like J.K. Rowling is referring to, but I feel like that's like a Harry Potter thing. It's a totally spectacular original fantasy screenplay from none other than Class B. You might want to get back to your own practice because you'll be crying when Class B blows you out of the water. Don't forget your hanky. He was really worked up there, more than normal. Sorry, Class A guy. His usual handler isn't around, so he's got no filter. She's never far from Monoma, though. She's doing her own, your karate chopping master. She's doing her own thing this time. The beauty pageant? The beauty pageant. People pushed her into doing it. Beauty pageant? I ain't Monoma, but good luck, because you're going to need it with what we're doing. Sensei never said any word about a beauty pageant. Sorry for exposing you to the dark side of UA right off the bat, Eddie. Speaking of the beauty pageant, I bet she's going all out this year. Who? I'm talking about last year's runner-up, Nejire Hado. Okay, so she's got like a taste, I guess generally it's a tasteful dress. Like, took a look. So we move on. Hey, where's Eddie? Weird. Come on, tell me why. How exciting. Oh, that's cool. She's like floating. That's pretty cool. I can't read like this stuff. Like it's a little bit too small. Let me try to zoom in. See what's going on. Nejire should play up the cute angle instead of sexy. That's why she lost last year. That flashy quirk, those proportions, and Hado Senpai was only runner-up. Midoriya is like definitely a teenager. No, get this. Listen. I haven't won this thing yet because of this one girl, the pageant queen, Bibimi. Okay, Bibimi Kenranzaki of support course class 3G. Kenranzaki. Wow. Kendo's also competing this year, and she's built up a following of underground fans after making a commercial. So Hado's giving this all she's got. Performing in front of a huge crowd, though, just imagining it. Ugh, I'm feeling nauseous. I first started competing at Yu-Yu's suggestion, but it's great. The thrills of victory and defeat. I'm taking home the prize this year. After all, this is my last chance. You got this. Anyway, next up is the support course. They combine students from all years to put on a big old tech exhibition. Now this one I knew about. They always get a ton of attention. Yep, the school festivals when the support course really gets to shred its stuff. Hatsume, whoa, my super cute baby, number 202. You're looking a little dirty. No time to waste on bathing. That's gross. But kids be dirty, man. Kids be dirty. Kids be dirty. Teenagers be dirty. Whoa, cool. The ideas just keep coming to me. I've never had so much fun. The sports festival was my chance to make a little splash in the hero course's shadow, but now's our chance to be the stars of the show. Those industry bigwigs are gonna get an up close and personal look at my babies. I've got to raise them right to do their mama proud. But how have those iron souls been working out? Feel free to come to me with any concerns. Right, thanks. Oh wow, it just exploded. My baby again, Hatsume. Seriously? Water, need water. Sorry, gotta go, Hatsume. Come on, Nettie. Good call. Didn't expect that. Ah, okay. We got people, stage crew. That's just about everything. Lunch rush. So how was it? Feeling comfortable yet? I don't know, but there are so many people all working really hard, so I want to see how it turns out. Hmm? Now that's what we call excitement. It seems this was worth the effort. Principal Nezu, Midnight Sensei, he's gnawing on some cheese. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for the festival as well. It's my job to encourage you students to produce the best attractions possible to help you enjoy yourselves, especially after all that business with the police. Enough, Kayama. Now then, I got places to be, but I do hope you kids have plenty of fun with this. Show some restraint with the school festival, Nezu. I never expected to see the Commissioner General of the National Police Agency in my office. There are more villains than ever, and heroes are on shaky ground. We can't just let it slide if something happens here again. Avoid the risks, keep your head down, and focus on raising the next generation. A reasonable stance, but I'm afraid that, no, don't make us an easy target for villains. It's because we're in these trying times that the students need this type of event. We will take all precautions, so I'm begging you, don't make the future any darker than it has to be. Security will be even tighter, and if any kind of alarm goes off, even by mistake, the whole thing's off and everyone gets evacuated. Those are the conditions. I can't get into the details, but the principal put himself out there. He ruffled some feathers to make this happen. Intense. Naturally, we're raising our defenses to ensure it doesn't come to that. We've even taken Hound Dog's leash off. Leashless. Oh, right. The whole staff room is buzzing because of Class A's attraction. They love seeing the power of youth. What's your class doing, Deku? A show with music and dancing. We're gonna boogie. And I'll do my best to make it fun for you too, Eddie. So I really hope you can make it. Sorry, guys, but my break's almost over. Better get back. Oh, I'm looking forward to it too. But then, 1 week after practice started, you're out. So just from the hand, it looks like it's Ashido. So I guess he's out of the dance crew. I don't know, man. He might be out of the dance crew. He might have been struggling with that popping lock a little too much. So that's the end of chapter 173. Okay, so that was also a good chapter. Like that was like, if I had to rate that chapter, it'd be like just gonna look through it quickly again. Just thinking about how I feel about it. I would give it I'd give it like it would be a solid, like it'd be a solid 7. I would say it's a solid 7. The other one was a 10 out of 10. That was phenomenal. But like this one, I would say is like a 7 out of 10. And I think why it's a 7 out of 10 is like there were things that I really enjoyed. Right, we got more character development. It's part 2 of the first one, of the first like sort of part of like the setting up for the dance and everything like that. The character development again, great stuff. We got to see all the planning and everything like that. Eddie's introduced. We know that she's in UA. It's It's awesome. Eddie, super cute, adorable. She's a child. She's going out into the world. We are rooting for Eddie. Okay. Hashtag rooting for Eddie. And I mean, like generally it was good. Like it did what it had to do. The mooning joke was so out of nowhere with Medio, and then Aiza was just like, "What are you doing, man?" That's why I thought it was funny. Like it wasn't just like the mooning joke. Like, it was funny because it was so random. But then as Aiza was like, "Yo, what are you doing? Like, stop that!" Like that was funny. And then the Mineta comment was just no, like that. Nah. And I think that's what kind of brought it down. It could have been. Nah, you know what? Oh yeah, it could have been like a 7.5, but that brought it down that just brought it down or even maybe an 8, but it brought it down to like a 7. It was a solid 7. It was a good chapter, but it wasn't like an amazing chapter, but it was good. It did what it needed to do. I think what I also liked about it was the Nezu, or the mouse principle. I thought that conversation was great. The way that he was like really rooting for the children, and he wanted them to have a good time and to have fun, and he didn't want sort of like their future to be bogged down by the worries of the adults. Like that's something that like adults do a lot. Like they like, and sometimes they don't even realize it. They're like all of their worries and concerns that they'll sort of like stunt the any sort of happiness that the kids might like are looking forward to or will have in any sort of given moment. And it's like you can't do that. Like you gotta let kids have fun. You gotta let have a child like some sort of like a happy childhood. You know what I mean? As far as they can, right? You have to make that environment safe, but also like free in a certain sense. They have to be able to like smile. They have to be able to look forward to things. This guy coming in, with a stern face and black men in black suit and looking like he just came from a CIA office. You know what I mean? Like just bringing down the mood. And he's just like, yo, like just let yes, and I also love, right? The principal understands that yes, their future is going to there's going to be darkness in their future because they're going to be heroes, and they can't really avoid that, generally speaking, especially because they're like the top sort of like at the top, right? These are like the top sort of 2 classes, and they're going to be part of this school festival, and it's like, yo, like they have to, like they're going to have to deal with darkness, and we understand that, but at the very least, like adults should try to not necessarily shield children from certain things, but they should try to like introduce and create spaces for children to have a good time, to have fun, to be happy. Like that should be like, that should always be at the forefront of like the minds of adults when it comes to like raising children, taking care of children, and stuff like that. So I thought that was like a really poignant part of the chapter. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great point. And I thought that the way that the principal worded things was fantastic. Really, really great stuff. I like that a lot. So this chapter was 7, but like that, I mean, that's the stuff to get that out of here. That was totally uncalled for me personally. Like that was like, no, like I nah. That to me was totally uncalled for. I thought it was like ridiculous. I don't understand why that was there. I think like, again, people will be like, oh, this is something that the Japanese do, da 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 da. And I'm like, no, like, I mean, I've seen this in like not to this extent, but I think, like you see people making jokes like, oh, this child's like, 14, come talk to me and da 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 years old. Like, that's gross, man. It's nasty. Like, like, no. And then like Eddie, like, how old is Eddie? Like 8, maybe. You know what I mean? 7, like, it's like, what's going on? How old is she? She's not that old. So it's stuff like that that's just really, really weird, man. It's creepy, super creepy, especially with all the stuff that was just happening with the Rurouni Kenshin author. Like, it's like, that's this kind of stuff that I'm talking about, right? It's like, you should, like, at the very least, you should, especially as another manga in Weekly Shonen Jump, you should know that a joke like that is like ridiculous in the environment that like and that we're in, and just in general, like regardless of the environment, it's like not a good joke at all. But like in the context of like the fact that like we already have someone right, that we have a mangaka who was like arrested for owning child pornography, and I believe I mean there was another mangaka, right, the mangaka of Toriko, who was like paying underage girls to for sexual right, for sexual favors, right, is what they call it. But like he was paying girls like to have sex with them. It's like, yo, like nasty, disgusting stuff. So a joke like that is like, I don't know what's going on there. But Horikoshi should know better. He should know better. So I might even have to downgrade the chapter to like a 6 or a 6, or a 5 point, like a 5. because like that joke really brought down like my enjoyment of the chapter. I think honestly, it brought down my enjoyment of the chapter. So if anything, I'm gonna downgrade it to like just a 5 because it was like somewhere in the middle. Like there was stuff that was really great about it, but then that was just like, ugh, disgusting, man. You know, but that stuff is like, yo, you know, like that's not a joke. Like, nope. Yeah, like it was a funny ending, you know, and I think like there was some stuff that was cool about it, but like generally I have to give the chapter like a 5, like a 5.5. Let me give it a 5.5. That's what I'm gonna give it. But chapter 172 was phenomenal. So let's move on to talk about a bit more about 172. 172 is 10 out of 10 because it's like a crash course in writing, and writing shonen and writing battle shonen manga, right? It's just a crash course in that. Just a crash course in that. You know what I mean? It was just so well constructed, and the transition from, and I think this chapter 173 did that too, but it wasn't as like whoa as 172. 172 did so many things so well, and I think what's great about it is that like right when we got like and I'm comparing it to One Piece because I can do that. I can compare battle shonen that are, especially battle shonen that are in the same magazine and clearly have similar sort of ways about going about things, right? Certain tropes and stuff like that. So of course I can compare them. Why wouldn't I compare them? So when you look at sort of the chapters that we got, right, and let's say I compare the sort of flashbacks that we got with Rayleigh, and Luffy, like that is like some of that stuff is just it's so vague and like almost I'm not gonna say it's pointless because I think some things aren't ever like pointless in that sense, but I think it was just so poorly done. And so vague. The vagueness of those conversations about hockey and da. Some of that stuff was absolutely pointless to mention because it's like, well, of course, like, you know, hockey's gonna bloom in like situations where you're fighting. Like why why wouldn't it? Like that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like it's like I think most of us who read One Piece have come to that conclusion, right? So certain things didn't need to be explained. Certain things were just very vague about personalities and da and stuff like that. I'm like, why do we care about that necessarily? Like I'm not sure. I'm not sure why that's like extremely important. I'm not sure, you know, like why that flashback was important because some of the stuff that Rayleigh was talking about was already sort of happening, right? In terms of like telling me about talking about people that can see the future. Well, yeah, we know people can see the future because Katakuri exists, right? So it's like it's not just like, you know, so right, and we sort of assume that other people in One Piece, sort of like Madam Sherry, I think is her name, or something like that. Shirley, I think, the shark fishman from Fishman Island. We can assume that she can read the future, and we assume that that's because of hockey. We assume that, right? So, right, and that's something I think that we can do. So, with that, like, there's just so many vague things in that instance. But in this chapter, everything is just like there was a list, man, of just how Horikoshi is saying this is what I've been thinking. This is how I've been planning this stuff, and this is how it makes sense. Right, this is what's going on. So every time Izuku does a particular thing or can do a particular thing, right? It's not just like, oh, it's not, and right. It's not only just that Horikoshi is showing us the progression of Deku in a very clear way, but he also shows that like, hey, like even Deku himself doesn't necessarily see his progression because he's the one progressing. Sometimes, right, you don't notice, and that's a very real thing to not notice your own progression as you're progressing. Right, like that's a very real thing that happens, right? You know, so, you know, you don't notice, like you might not notice, like, hey, like I've lost like 5 pounds or 10 pounds or something like that, and like while you're exercising until like, you know, weeks later or something like that, you know, or months later or something like that, you know. And like I thought that was great. I thought it was fantastic, and the way that it transitioned from Deku working on the stuff to saying, hey, it's been a while since we've talked, like, you know, I'd like to like have a conversation with All Might and everything like that. And it's a moment that they can do that because things are calm. Everything makes sense. We get these transitions make sense. They're on the campus. All Might is a teacher on the campus. So of course Deku can just go ahead and say, hey, like let's have a conversation. The relationship has gotten to a place where it's like, yo, like if it wouldn't make any sense if All Might wasn't sort of having a conversation at this point. Right, because like we already know, we assume that he's going to die soon. So I thought it was like phenomenal, 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 phenomenal. Really, really great stuff. That chapter was like constructed so well. And just like, you know, if we look back, I'm going to go back to that chapter. There's just some things about it that I thought were like wonderful, 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 wonderful. So we go back to that chapter. Let me get it up. We got the chapter up, 66. Right, like the character development. We got so much of like these jokes. The jokes were funny. That whole joke with Mineta and the fact that he couldn't reach a string, I thought that was hilarious. That was so funny. And like his like just despair at the fact that like there were certain things that he could do. I thought the harem joke was corny. Like I'm like no, no, because I don't really like how to harem like things generally. I'm not like a fan. You know, like yeah, generally I'm not like a huge fan of that sort of genre. But I thought it was great. The character development here was awesome. All these characters like had time. Like the dialogue was really sort of like balanced in such a way that all these characters like got screen, well, not screen time, but like well, yeah, kind of screen time or page time or whatever. You know, it's just awesome. It's just great. Everything was set up. And then we just transition into the big break room, and like, it's just a great transition, and it's a great like, and it's hype not because like Deku's in battle and he figures this thing out during battle, but it's because like this is legitimately it's training, and it's not training that has to take like two weeks, not 2 weeks, but like you know, 6 or 7 chapters to go through off screen or something like that. It's like, we get to see what's going on. We get an explanation from All Might. We realize Deku's learning more about how All Might did battle, right? As he was being a hero. Like it just, everything was great about that. And we learned something about All Might, right? It's like we didn't assume that. We didn't assume that that's how All Might battled. We didn't assume that. We could have. I think, and some people probably did, right? But for me personally, I didn't make that assumption. I wasn't thinking like that sort of like deeply into the way that All Might battles and everything like that. But I love that Horikoshi took the time to explain that, and he took the time to not only develop Deku as a hero, as a character and as a hero, but took time to sort of develop All Might as a mentor. And we learned a little bit more about how All Might fought. I thought that just great stuff. Right now, Deku has a way to battle. Now I'm really hyped to see him fight, but I don't mind, because this character development, and I'm more hyped for the dance, for the festival. I'm more hyped for the dance. I'm more hyped to see how they work together. Like that's what I'm talking about. This manga does character development in such a way that you don't crave battles, because generally when you watch sort of battle shonen and stuff like that, generally the character development happens during the battles. So that's why a lot of people are like, oh, we need the battles, you know, not only for the hype, obviously, but because like generally the character development usually tends to happen in those battles, at least like the quality stuff, you know. So it's kind of, so here, that's not the case necessarily, right? We get quality character development in the battles, but we also get it outside of the battles. So we're not like, where are the battles? Where are the battles? You know, it's just like we don't necessarily, like, we can wait and we're okay and we're chilling, because we get all this other great character development, all these great character interactions outside of those battles, outside of those hype moments. And we get hype moments outside of that stuff. So it's a really great and balanced manga, I think, in a lot of ways. And that's why I love it. That's why I love My Hero Academia, the manga, like, so much. Because I think it does a lot of things well. You know? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to end basically my live reaction and review here, because I got to get to the Promised Neverland, and because I got to make sure that, like, you know, I'm ready, and then I can go do my schoolwork and everything like that. You know, so I'm gonna move on to the Promised Neverland. Maybe I'll see. Maybe I'll react to some other manga if I have the time. Maybe I might do that now. And I have to react to Food Wars. I got to check that out. I got to see what that's about. So I'm gonna think about it. I think. Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter I'm going to do tonight. I'm not going to do that now, because that's like so intense and so dense and everything that I got to do that later. But I'm going to see. Maybe I'll do some other manga and then get into... Yeah, Shokugeki is very good. You you know, there are some like, you know, bumps along the road, like, you know, in terms of like lag, but I don't mind that too much. Like I don't mind that too much. Like I mean, I've definitely been critical of some chapters and everything like that, but I do think that Shokugeki is like an awesome manga. As a manga, it's really well done generally. So I think what I'm gonna do is react to some Shokugeki because I do want to react to some Shokugeki. Because I want to have like a discussion at some point during the weekend with my guy Hassan and Angry Anime Fan, and I think Naya also reads Naya Hemmings reads Shokugeki, so add him in the mix, and just some other people, you know, some other people that love to react to that. Yeah, it should. I don't know if Hunter x Hunter should be. Well, I mean, some of the parts should be a light novel. I do think that, but I think that's probably why I like it because like I read it all the time. So you know, like and I generally like I'm of the mindset that like when I move into Hunter x Hunter, like I know that's what I'm going to get with this arc. So it doesn't bother me. So it doesn't bother me as much. But I understand that I do get the critique that it's like, yo, like there's a lot of like dialogue here and that you got to parse through that. You know, but for me personally, I don't mind it and I like it because there's a lot of information. There's a lot for me to like dissect and look through and analyze. So I like that. But I totally understand that people are like, yo, what's going on here? Like this is too much going on here. All right. So I'm gonna end this stream now and then I'm gonna move on to another manga, probably Shokugeki. I'm gonna see what else I need to react to that I haven't reacted to yet. But I'm gonna save Promised Neverland for last. So I'm gonna read Shokugeki first, then read the Promised Neverland, and then maybe tomorrow I'll like react and then later on I'll react to Hunter x Hunter for those chapters that I've missed. And then maybe tomorrow I'll like the other show Weekly Shonen Jump. Oh no, Haikyuu. I gotta do Haikyuu. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do Haikyuu next, and then I'm gonna do Shokugeki, then I'm gonna do Haikyuu, then I'm gonna do the Promised Neverland. That's what I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna head to work. All right, so I'm gonna end the stream here. Okay, this was my live reaction / review of My Hero Academia chapter 172 and 173. 172, 10 out of 10. Awesome chapter. Everything that I love about My Hero Academia. 173 was like a 5 because that like, you know, nasty like joke that Mineta had, like no. And I like that dropped it for me. It could have been like a solid like 6. But it just dropped it to like a 5 because like that joke was like no, it's gross. So that's how I feel about it. Okay, I'm the Black Manga Critic. I'm going to in like a couple of minutes I'm going to start up my Shokugeki reactions, and then I'm going to move on to Haikyuu, and then I'm going to move on to the Promised Neverland. All right. So I'm the Black Manga Critic. Shouts to all y'all that came through. You know who you are: Shugama, Professor Hitomi, John Boy, or Orphe. Shouts Daddy Black. Shouts to all y'all. All right. I'm the Black Manga Critic, and I am out.